Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, from start to finish, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it. Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
So when we say we want to equalize, pay attention to what we are saying. It's not that we want to scandalize our president. We just want our president to be transparent in this process. And so far, he hasn't been transparent. Why am I raising these concerns? Because there was a similar meeting in 2022 that took place, same period. That one took place between 27th and 29th March. It was a secret meeting again. The media were not allowed. The president didn't post anything on his page. ZMBC, Kalemba, and others who they carry every day were not at that meeting. What were the outcomes of that meeting? You need to understand what the outcomes and ramifications of the 2022 meetings for you to get concerned about this Laws Zambezi meeting that now took place in 2025. Again, that meeting was organized by Greg Mills of Brent Foundation. The outcome was First Quantum announced that they will invest in our country, in Kansanshi and Sentinel Mines, $1.3 billion, and that they wanted to increase the output from 130,000 metric tons to 277. That they had announced an enterprise nickel project to begin to mine, because nickel has been coming as a byproduct of copper, but now they wanted to specifically create a mine to be doing up to 30,000 tons per year. And government signed in return after that meeting the Minerals Development Agreement, guaranteeing First Quantum Mine, Kansanshi, Sentinel, and Mpundu mines and these favorable responses that we talk about, favorable tax revenue that First Quantum began to receive. Where were our concerns? Because someone would say, but Ambassador, why would that invest $1.3 billion? So why are you worried? Isn't this good? Isn't it a good outcome for our country? Here is the trouble. Here is the trouble. The trouble was that government abandoned to pursue $2.5 billion that First Quantum had externalized illegally from our country. They abandoned that process. The DPP withdrew his arrest warrants that were issued by the police to arrest and prosecute the directors of First Quantum. The civil action to recover this $2.5 billion was abandoned in the Lusaka High Court and the arbitration process in London. Then the shareholding that we have, 20% of shareholding in Kansanshi, was converted to a mineral royalty agreement. And you saw Musokotwana and the president say that we needed to guarantee income and revenue. So our shareholding in First Quantum was amended to a mineral royalty agreement where we'll be paid 3.1% of some this dividend. So the shareholding, we lost the shareholding rights. Our shareholding rights to protect our ownership in the stake of the mine, our right to vote, our influence on corporate decisions, our declaration, for example, First Quantum directors can say, or shareholders can say, we are taking $2 billion to Panama. We have lost that power to stop such a process. They'll just be giving us this standard 3.1% over some gross revenue, which again they can manipulate because you have no right, because you are no longer a shareholder. You can't inspect the records. So the shareholding and transfer and conversion of these shares that we held in Kansanshi was literally a big scandal. And remember, we have Article 210 of our Constitution that says any transfer, change, or sale of shares in a major state assets require parliamentary approval. Again, no parliamentary approval was obtained for these purposes. We lost our shareholder rights, like I've said. We no longer can direct what First Quantum can do. They can decide that for this year, the income that we have will not declare dividends. We are pushing back the money into building, into capital projects at First Quantum. There is nothing you can do. You are no longer shareholders. Now, that is the danger of the meeting that the president currently held over the weekend on critical minerals. It's a very dangerous, because we've learned what happened in 2022. That meeting resulted in our loss of $2.5 billion, where First Quantum has not paid us this money to date. And we rushed to IMF to look for this money. There's another matter that emerged when you see the presence of the US ambassador. That meeting resulted in Zambia accepting AFRICOM. AFRICOM is a United States Africa Command. AFRICOM, a combatant unit of the US Army in the United States. This is, AFRICOM looks after military operations in Africa. Now, that matter is so major, it required that it is brought for approval to our country, to our parliament, to our cabinet. This meeting made the decision, and now you have AFRICOM in Zambia. There's been, you are aware that I was ambassador at the African Union. There's been significant concerns around such military units having a local presence or local base or security office in our countries. It's really a matter of concern. Like in the region, AFRICOM is only in Botswana. And you're aware that the new president has been trying to review this decision. Even in the US, President Donald Trump, you've seen some discussions over maybe proposals even to scale down the presence of AFRICOM in Africa, which would be good for us. So this meeting that took place in Lower Zambezi, we need to take concern. There could be technical issues. We might fail for people to grasp the dangers of these secret meetings and the need for the president to hold transparent processes, not just to invite one company. Why is he inviting selected companies? Why didn't he invite the entire mining sector? Why didn't he invite, why didn't he put it open? So the president has to be held accountable to this, and the Minister of Finance, what are you doing at this meeting? And all these members, what are they doing at this secret meeting? Someone says, how can it be secret if they've taken pictures? We only have that same picture, only that one picture only. That's the only picture that is there. And because someone tweeted it accidentally, that's the reason we have that picture. State House issued a statement. It was very broad. They didn't mention where this meeting took place, who attended the meeting. There was no attendance list. I've just disclosed to you who attended to this meeting. They didn't even give you the theme of the meeting. They didn't give you any of those details. They just did a broad statement, I think, to cover their insecurity. We'll move to another matter. This is an update of our brother, Dr. Garry Nkombo. You are aware that Garry Nkombo was dismissed last Friday, and there has been speculation that why was he fired? What is it? And why has the president appointed Gift Simuzi, Sia Mubalo? We know that Garry Nkombo is a very powerful force in the UPND. He's even touted as a successor to President Hakainde Hichilema. And he's presented, as a strong voice. He has presented himself as a strong voice, especially in the struggle against the Patriotic Front. And especially during elections, you saw Garry Nkombo very often. And he's one of the senior members of the UPND. And he's part of the critical mass of leadership for the UPND. He holds a very key portfolio. He's chairperson for elections. And all the parties are supposed to go to elections next year. That's mandatory by our constitution. It requires that you go to elections, intra-party conference, and ensure that you have a new leadership. Garry is holding that position and is expected to organize that. So there's been fears and concerns that is Garry Nkombo being victimized because of his job, his popularity in the party. Is President Hakainde Hichilema frustrated? Is he apprehensive about Garry Nkombo? Garry Nkombo is no pusher. He's a solid guy in the country and in the party. Of course, that doesn't take away what we've been hearing about him. The allegations of corruption, CDF money, we hear his name everywhere in the decisions to buy the ambulances. You require that you give them to either a franchise holder or a local company. They gave it to one of the $13 million award went to one of the a local company, but owned by foreign national. So that procurement breached CDF guidelines. I don't know why the president hasn't fired people that make the decisions than just Garry Nkombo. Because Garry Nkombo is a minister. You will not find a signature anywhere. But the signature you find is that of the permanent secretary, or for CDF in any province or districts, it is a council secretary, or the people that run, or town clerk, the people that actually sign. So to fire a minister, yet you don't fire the functionaries, is a bit totally unfair, because you can prosecute him. Even if you prosecute him, you will not convict him, because ministers do not sign anywhere. And so Garry Nkombo has not been immune to corruption allegations. His name comes up everywhere. But if you are firing Garry Nkombo for corruption, what about Sylvia Masibo, who was administrator, where she was named by contractors in writing, in an affidavit, in documents filed to the SEC and the letter to the president? If you are, what about Chikota at Ministry of Energy? What about other ministers that have been accused of corruption? Why are you just firing Garry Nkombo if there are allegations of corruption? That is why we are saying the only reason you are firing Garry Nkombo is that you are afraid of his shadow. You think he's too powerful, and especially what we are hearing about constitutional amendments. Because we've heard that you want to extend the term from 5 years to 7 years. We know that there is an attempt to remove term limits on the from our constitution. People are even finding reasons and giving examples of Japan, Germany, UK, countries that have no limit for the president and are actually doing very well. You are trying to get the argument that these countries are doing very well without a term limit. Why should there be a term limit if advanced Western countries like Japan, Germany, and UK do not have term limits? We are aware. Someone will say, no, but it's not among the listed issue. We haven't seen the draft constitution yet. And any clause can be sneaked in, even at second reading stage. So do not be comfortable that it has not appeared here. So we need to understand all these things that are happening. The dismissal of Garry Nkombo, if it's about corruption, why have you spared other ministers that have been implicated? The Anti-Corruption Commission told us that they were investigating five ministers 5 ministers, Mr. President. And for the anti-corruption to say we're investigating 5 ministers, it means, Mr. President, you are aware of these 5 ministers. Why didn't you suspend them? Why didn't you fire them? Why have you kept them in office? Why do you still sit with them in cabinet? Yet you know there are investigations against them. So for us, I think that is a matter of concern. It's a matter of worry. And another matter on Garry Nkombo is that he was in a hurry to hand over the office to someone who hasn't been sworn in. He literally broke the law. Because, when you are swearing in, you take 2 oaths. The first oath is for the office. The other one is for allegiance and secrecy. You just can't allow someone who hasn't been sworn in into an office where he can access secret documents, confidential material. You cannot do that. So what Garry Nkombo did, the 2 of them broke the law. It should have waited until the president swore our dear brother Gift Siuluabo into office before he could be allowed to go into that office where there were secret and confidential material and documents. They broke the law there. There was no hurry. And the appointment of this gentleman also raised fresh issues. First, there's an allegation that is actually a first cousin to the president, that their mothers are sisters. Now, that would be nepotism of the highest order. Does the president have a right to appoint his brother into cabinet? He does have a right, but he should disclose so to Zambians. So there's that matter which has risen. I want to work with Varela, we don't know if that is true, but for me, I would challenge that the president must clear this issue that himself and the Minister of Local Government share, their mothers are sisters, making them first cousins. So we need the president to clear that. If the gentleman is an MP, is a backbencher, he's qualified to be even a minister, but it's disclosure which is very important. The disclosure should be made, I think, in one way or another. This hasn't been done. I was looking for his picture here. I don't know how to look for his picture. Let me see for his picture. I wanted to see the swearing-in ceremony, but you can look at it. But okay. So those were the concerns. The second concern about the appointment of this Nazongwe member of parliament is that the president has been preaching that he needs to amend the constitution to allow him to appoint young people and women. Here was a great opportunity. The president has a lot of young people who can occupy those offices. Kangombe from Sesheke is a young man. Katuba MP is a young man. The women are also a lot that are still in the back bench. The president had an opportunity to demonstrate his commitment to giving young people and women an opportunity to serve at high level. No, he didn't. We'll be discussing the next item, constitutional amendments. Where are we? What is the update? I was watching the Minister of Legal Affairs. She was on Costa, on Diamond TV with Costa Mwanza. Clearly, her arguments do not hold water. There is no justification why we should amend the Constitution. She couldn't give plausible reasons why we should. I commend remarks. She wants defilers and rapists to be castrated. She says the law is not enough. Well, I also think that we have to do a lot for our children. We're not doing enough to protect our children. We need to raise, for example, the age of marriage from 16 to 18. And we need to ensure that we open a criminal register for all sexual offenders, and especially the sexual offenses happening in homes, which involve uncles, fathers, and cousins and others. That is even more dangerous because the families are not willing to give up their loved one to the law, to be prosecuted and thrown in jail. We need to protect our women. So there I agree with the Minister of Justice. But our entire remarks on the Constitution were not like those that have been offered by the UPND media team. Have not been. There is no justification. We just need to listen to what the Law Association of Zambia said, that all these processes are so highly contentious that we need to do them in the year we are free from major things like coming up elections. You already have tendered for someone to print ballot boxes. Why do you want to amend the Constitution at this late hour with all these issues? Why do you want to effect delimitation process? So there are these issues. I'll open the lines. Those are the three matters we are discussing. Money, new notes, 6 new notes were launched today, and 6 coins. There was a tender, but it was direct bidding, single sourcing. There was no justification for this tender to be done in the manner it was done. Secretive, and it's implemented, and you have new notes beginning today. The quality of these notes is of worry. The color that have been used, the texture of these notes is of great worry. And the lack of national symbols on them. Why didn't we consult greatly? Why are we doing things in our country? Taka. If you're madongolilo fefe tulechta. So we want to begin to call 0973 078082. Begin to call. Let's hear from you. Let's hear what your view is. This is Emmanuel Mwamba verified. I'm willing to begin to take the calls. The phone lines are open. Please call us on 0973 078082. We are discussing those 3 items. The meeting in Lower Zambezi, I bothered to give a lot of detail so that people could see the contents, the context, and the concerns. So we are discussing the meeting in Lower Zambezi and why it was secret and the concerns around it. We are discussing the dismissal of Garry Nkombo. If we're discussing the aftershocks, if he was fired because of corruption, why have other ministers that the SEC is investigating been spared? Was he fired for politics that is a threat to the presidency? I like what the president said in today's swearing-in ceremony. He condemned some ministers that come drunk to cabinet meeting. We've heard about some of these 1 or 2 heads that go drunk. We've heard about some ministers that go drunk to that meeting. Mr. President, fire them. Just don't talk about it. It's a mark of indiscipline to come to cabinet drunk. And you, Mr. President, have told us that you've reprimanded people that you can indulge, but you can't indulge in such a manner that it affects your work. You cannot have. It's lack of respect for the president to have some ministers sleeping and snoring in his meeting because they were drunk or they had been drinking heavily the previous day. Yeah. So call us on 0973 078082. You are on Emmanuel Mwamba verified. Please make the call and let's discuss. Okay, good evening. We have our first caller. Please tell us your name and tell us where you are calling us from. Hello? Sir, you've muted your phone. You've muted your phone. Oh, this caller has muted his phone. And I think he hasn't realized it. Okay? Call 0973 078082 on WhatsApp. Okay, we have second caller. Hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling from and make your contributions.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Brian. I'm calling you from Olympia, Osaka.
Yes, Brian.
My contribution rather is on the firing of the local government minister, Mr. Garry Nkombo.
Mm-hmm.
According to the statement that that is being given is that the president has got the prerogative to fire any serving member of the cabinet without giving any reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But if we are to follow how reluctant President Ichilema has been to release his cabinet ministers, despite the allegations of corruption that we've been hearing about in the media, one can assume that there's more to this firing than what meets the eye, which is why I would agree with what you explained or alluded to earlier when you said there could be some power struggle in the ruling UPND where there are threats even as they go to the convention that will be coming. Like you had put that the Garry Nkombo is very popular in the party, and the president may not want to risk being opposed, even as they go for this convention that is coming. Yeah, but my worry on the issue again is, in light of them pushing for these amendments, citing the youths being the reason why they want to amend, this was the perfect time for the president to pick a youth or a woman in replacement of this of the local government minister position. But alas, they had to pick someone who is not a youth.
Yes.
Which makes it very difficult for us to believe them when they say they want to amend the constitution because they want to include the youth and the women. I think the president needs to walk the talk. When he says something, he needs to show efforts to the public that he's willing to implement what he talks about. Otherwise, he goes into these public meetings and speak to the youth about them being included on the table where decisions are made. But when opportunities are presented for him to make decisions, he does something different.
Thank you very much, my brother.
I
Let's
just wanted to contribute on that.
well
Otherwise,
done.
following the program,
Well done. Let's take the other calls. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me. I think I'll choose to be anonymous.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm the Karocha Seditious Chino.
Mkwaina amafunde batumine bapishishe.
Kutowaisa umfuati bakubikira kweria number 5 yatu wabaseditious. So, Mwamba, I would like to thank you for articulating the 3 issues that you have presented to us. You know, first things first, I think I like the way you articulated that secret meeting in the Lower Zambezi. Our president Vesu, Onsefenga Kulifire Chitika, Nangulioko Balea, Paraposta, fellow Zambians, fellow Zambians, we are having a meeting with such people, but this one is a surprise. And the names that you have actually mentioned, the attendees of this meeting, you can actually see any normal person should be able to see that this was not a small thing.
Yeah.
There's everything fishy about this. Mulungushi conference, why didn't they meet there with all the NBC Prime and all the media teams there? So our Gwena, it's quite surprising. And anyway, Bandala Mashanyu, Sharandepo, but Nalanda Konapali, Papa Minister Vanyu Babi Kidepo, particularly place for Garry Nkombo. I agree with you, that this would have been an opportunity for the president to appoint young people like me who voted for him. Because we are, it was an opportunity for him to show us that he believes in young people. We have Romeo Kangombe, we have also we have Mpundu, we have a lot of people. He would have proven to us that yes, indeed, he believes in the young people and women.
Yeah.
So I think he has failed us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all those that are trying to call. I'll pick as many calls as possible. Want to hear you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. You are muted. This gentleman is muting his phone. I don't know how. Sir, please, you are muted. You called earlier. Again, you are muted. I don't know what's happening to his phone. Okay. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Milambo calling you from Mazabuka.
Yes, Milambo. How are you, my dear brother from Mazabuka?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Is the town still the sweetest town in Zambia?
Yeah, it is. It is very sweet.
Please give us your contributions.
Yes. I think no question mark. There's no question why Garry Nkombo was fired. When the president was appointing Mr. Garry Nkombo, takatwambira marizoni why vari vapere nchitofe vavaperere nchitofiga. So nokuva firinga tavaringirwa president kutweva marizoni why vavatafye nchito. This country, when your president Edgar Lungu, when he was firing the ministers, he was not giving us reasons why he was firing those people. So the president, Tabariba first president who firing a minister pay. Or when you go back to the history, he fired some people, the likes of Never Mumba, if I'm not mistaken, he fired the vice. Yeah. So the president is not the first president. The president knows what he's doing and he knows people whom he wants to work with.
How's your MP in Mazabuka?
Allow me not to comment on our MP, but
Okay, thank you. Thank you, my brother. I respect that.
the other issue is that constitutional amendment. It's not like the bill that you brought to UPF guys to say bill 10. We are aware what is in that constitutional amendment. That's a difference. And twaranganya constitution, all of us who support a constitutional amendment because it's supposed to youths there's a percentage of youths and women inclusive in parliament in these political positions. When we look at other clauses like nominating more members of parliament, that one is welcome because it helps us to have more youths in parliament. The youths will be nominated and women will be nominated in the house. That is welcome. And also when you look at all the process, I don't know where you find it difficult to trust the process and to trust the president. UPF, what you are doing, it is something which is damaging this country. You are busy sponsoring those people who are insulting the people of Zambia and those people who are insulting the head of state, like the case of YME. And even you, sir, you were busy giving wrong information until you ran away. Is this how you want to run our country? Let's think about Zambia before we think of politics. Those people, what lesson are we learning from UPF taking out JJ Banda, taking them to Zimbabwe, because we know where they are in Zimbabwe. So this is something which is worrying Bamwamba. Oroimweko muluko leti mwise mu Zambia because mwalishiba tifyo mulebu tukira mwalipera abantu bana Zambia wrong information. So please, sir, as PF, please try to change how you do politics. You should do clean politics the way we were doing us when we were in opposition. We were not insulting you. We were just giving you respect. Even where you were with Ethiopia, you were enjoying it because no one was insulting you, Bamwamba. So I know you, I like the way you do politics yourself, but now you are in a wrong WhatsApp group. I want you, Mr. Mwamba, from today to reform, to be a better person, the way we know you. We had the hope in you, but the way you are turning now, sir, it is worrying us, sir. We had a lot of hope in you. Please, sir, can you change? Change, my brother, my big brother. Change.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, let me take time to address this. There's fallacy that the president is promoting clean politics. Is not. He would have closed Koswe, which is run at State House. Koswe insults Catholic bishops. It insults all of us. It defames, it promotes hate speech. He has an infrastructure of UPND media that insults. He has youths that have abused the former president. So before you talk about why me, before you talk about anyone who's insulting the president, why don't you look at the log in your eye? So my dear brother, before you throw the challenge to me, look at the log. I have a speck in my eye, but look at that big log that is in your eye. If the president is serious to conduct clean politics, he should allow for freedom of expression, for all of us to express ourselves. He should stop those that are insulting us. He should stop the abuses that Koswe newspaper run from State House does, insulting bishops, insulting the former president. Insults are insults, whether they've been done by why me or by your youths who want to circumcise the former president. Insults are insults. So you can't pick and choose what should be insults. Yobane, umuninganya ofai kwati mwachita fiance. And on my politics, I'm doing my very best. I think your anger and pain or difficulties that I'm criticizing President Hakainde Hichilema, who you hold that is a king, who you hold that is an angel. No, he's not. And as we have demonstrated, he's not an angel. He requires our voice. You can tell him, although he's naked, you can tell him that he has clothes. I can't join you in telling a naked person that he is clothed. If he's naked, I will say, Mr. President, you are naked. I'll act like the children of Noah. Then I'll bring a cloth and cover him. I will not let him go in public while he's naked, which you pressingers are doing. So let's get back to the phone calls, and there are a lot of topics. We are discussing these 6 notes that have been launched. I think they're a matter of concern. At the launch, there was something very funny that occurred at the launch. The quality of the music that was done there, it reminded me of the inauguration of the president, and people joke about it, that the president failed to launch. He can't resolve any economic crisis because of that song that, welcome to the inauguration of President Hakainde Hichilema, sang before international guests. Here is what happened at the launch of the new kwacha at Bank of Zambia.
Welcome to the family of our currency. Welcome to the family of our currency. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome. A series. A series. A series. A series. Welcome to the family of our currency. Welcome to the family of our currency. We welcome. We welcome. A series. A series.
So barikala nokwikala bachita sample bachita na approve mwe bantu bakolesa. Even if you want to give some people business, or you want to give a choir, maybe it is your choir, you want to empower it. This is why we require matters to go through tender processes, so that mediocrity is not promoted and rewarded. So the number to call is 0973 078082. And my dear brother from Mazabuka, I'm glad that you called and you gave your other view. You are welcome, but take time to understand why 13 NGOs have rejected these amendments. Take time to understand why the Law Association of Zambia have rejected these bills. Take time to understand why the church, the 3 major mother bodies, have rejected this bill. The number to call is 0973 078082. We have a caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I will continue to be anonymous for now.
Thank you. Please proceed.
I'm here just to make a brief comment. Thank you so much. I'm personally grateful for the work that you're doing. You do your research thoroughly before you get behind your phone and your camera. And what happened today? I'll speak different from you concerning the music at the launch. So that choir is called the Bank of Zambia Choir.
Oh.
It's mostly it's based in Ndola, and no one was paid for that.
Okay, thank you for that info. But I've seen the choir, for example, the ABSA choir is one of the best. They are like professionals. My dear brother Collins would put up a choir there. I've seen other choirs from corporate institutions. Bank of Zambia.
If you check the names that are there, those are seasoned musicians like the Mwesas. If you read the books of old musicians in Zambia, those are the people that brought the theory of music in Zambia. The thing is, it's the kind of music they sing, they meet for a short period of time, and maybe they were taught to sing about a specific theme, so it may be different from what people expect, the maps and all that, but that's a Bank of Zambia choir, and they sing for charity.
Thank you for that insight. Like blue jeans, my brother, blue jeans. Yeah, blue jeans. The blue jeans.
Confidence where someone mentions one thing and they don't, even within 2 weeks, they fail to act upon it. They're talking about thinking about us, the youth, yet they act otherwise parallel to their statements. I think it's been a month of discussions whether the UPND government really means well to consider the youth and the women. It's proven to be the case of a different, agenda where the minister is fired and someone comes in who's parallel to what they're preaching. So we can't trust that, and we still advocate for a halt to the constitutional amendments until there's proper consultation from the masses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think he has brought a very fundamental issue that the choir that sang is not really a professional choir, although he says in there are key personnel who are professionals. But similarly, the Blue Jeans, the Blue Jeans Mashombe band that sang the Welcome to Inauguration are also a beautiful band, and they've done brilliant songs over many years. I don't know what happened that day, how they could even do a song like that. Similarly, if there's Bank of Zambia choir is renowned on the copper belt and it comprises good choir, good members who know music, it's then shocking that maybe let me call this man back, because it's been calling and calling. So I'll give him the benefit of doubt. Oh, you can call back. I've just seen that you've called 7 times and I think it's not fair. That's why I'm calling this number back. Okay, they'll call if they are lucky. So call 0973-078082. We are discussing the secret meeting that was held in Lower Zambezi, sponsored by Brentes Foundation. Hello, good evening, and please make your contributions.
No phone contribute to Kenya Constitution.
Yes.
Constitution kumbali yanga sifunika na maclauses yamene wakamba wa president yamene bachita baganiza kuti bangachinje sepanga sense such a way that manga iyochi yenda kuma yochosa ko candidate akachita withdraw achita resign ipanga sense kai wangamuoshe wangamupasa ndram. Then it is much that differentize the political party and so it still represent. Meaning that single got a fair playing field. Then inangu yama ministers yama nominated MPs. President attend time angafune chapya 10 to kuba 50. Tumisi nga 50 kutira ti tupange loi. Wenda chabasakira ngari 50. Wenda wachinja chapi wafaka kuwena ngari 50 wapanga.
Yeah.
Charo singa kare bwino. Almost chape yonse narema chape niye ibara chape otherwise. But many panga sense but sikuja chapati ifuna ngala against it but nayo nenapitamu naona ta abachape nangu muntu chape wamene saganiza pangaonya ta sivipanga sensitive
Okay.
otherwise mpitirire so then inangu issue yapadi bill yamene vanapanga yapari social media iyo chita regulate cybercrime.
Yeah, the 2 new laws.
It's a bill, yes. It's a bill now, it's our president Vanganepo Gwinoid. In fact, I'm a member of parliament. Not to say that I belong to this political party. I support the chapi. Also, organize Gwino Gwino. Wangana ni Mayenguga, many manager Mutu. Afuni kuorganiza Gwino Maningi. Wapanga na muna mene ipanga sense kubantu. Because women are Mazaka Pesicati. Women were more power. Wanga Pesicamero, so I'm power.
Okay.
More Pesicama, but more position, meaning that Zaka Batita manage.
Yeah.
Sleep and sense. Sleep and sense. Otherwise, program Yan in Maning. In fact, Wafunika I'm very Kuban. Mukaona TV program in on Sapura radio station. Pamene wakamba vantu so vafunika vavimvera vantu sivavivhunapo vava constitutional amendments why vachita impose vafakamba vantu kuvauza ndiri haivavomeri pamene sivanavomeri vantu sivafuna namwine pano nakamba pano ndinaona concern yanga zirivifuna because ifunika fambira kuvantu isi tamba tese twavivomeresa ise tukavivomeresa ise tosangamo navabwino fesi funika tuchita way.
Yeah.
Stifunika chape kuleta chape mabiwa yamene siyapanga sense. In fact, siyafunika kuchoka kuma leaders. Kaya leaders ngazipangire vamene yafuna kukalire bwe. Funika vakalira ise twamene tuwafakapo tuwapanga ifunika ma president wafuniko so tufuniko vapangira malamulo ayo.
Okay, my brother, we need to get other phone calls. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please call us on 0973 078082 WhatsApp and make your contribution. There was a meeting in Lower Zambezi. Then we have an issue of the Constitution. We have an issue of Garry Nkombo's dismissal. Make your contribution to whichever item is suitable for you. I read some people that attended the meeting on Lower Zambezi, Mr. Andrew Chipwende, Director, Public-Private Dialogue Forum, Atupele Muluzi, Opposition Leader in Malawi, Bradford Machila, Principal Private Secretary at State House, Brendan Gao, Director, Vala from the U.S. Embassy, I'm waiting for your call. On the issue of the Constitution, I want us to close by in the next 9 minutes. Let's get your contribution over the topics and discussion that we presented to you, and let us analyze Garry Nkombo's dismissal. There's a new minister. Okay. There's a call here. Hello. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Good evening.
Daniel.
Yes, Daniel. Please make your contributions.
Yes, Ambassador. I wanted to find out something from you on amendment constitution. On amendment. What happened to the amendment constitution? On this one, is it supposed to go for a referendum, or is that supposed to go in parliament, then MPs vote, and the outcome then to be a law? Or is it supposed to go for a referendum where maybe you have to vote as citizens will come up with the constitution that we want?
Okay, I'll answer after you've hung up. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Okay. I think that just like the previous callers called, it's better that we remain anonymous.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much again for this, the program that is going on. Mine I was just, laughing to myself when I saw the president emphasizing during the swearing-in ceremony, where he was emphasizing the Constituency Development Fund guidelines.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about the CDF funds being localized. Yeah, but looking at, because when I look at this new appointment, I'm not looking at maybe an opportunity for him to could have appointed him. But mine, caught my attention when the CDF food localized CDF guidelines. So here is a discrepancy. The president is very, very much aware of most okay. And I think that he contradicted himself when he said CDF should be localized, because he knows that honorable minister has already and then this is where the issue comes, and I think that the issue is when President supplier in the mines, from way back, without taking away from. But even this appointment is like you appoint an accomplice to what you are saying should have actually followed. So in one hand, you are saying that CDF should be localized, but then your appointment reflects the opposite.
Yeah.
And then, when you have issues with the boss at work, you have what scores. It's like you are trying to settle scores with the boss. Any slight mistake that you can make can actually, come out or result into a dismissal. The case of Garry.
Yeah.
Because if Garry Nkombo was not probably localizing the CDF, and then the appointment is to the opposite, then there could have been something else that probably Garry Nkombo could have done, other than what is being claimed. And this is what we've been talking about. These politicians being honest. Now, this was my submission. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I like the point you brought out. I'll answer it together with the other question. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good afternoon. I'm calling you from Lusaka, Zambia.
Okay, sir.
To be anonymous.
Please make your contributions.
I'll discuss the issues like the way you have lined them up. The firing of Garry Nkombo. It's not the first time that we are seeing the head of state firing people, more especially at the level of the PS. There was a PS at the Ministry of Health. He was dropped or he was fired. Up to now, more than 100 million US dollars, if my memory served me well. We don't know whether that issue is in court or is anywhere, or it was just it was a sacrificial lamb. We have seen a number of TSs being dropped with allegation of corruption, and the matters are not going anywhere. And we don't know if this Garry Nkombo is firing, it is in the same line to show the public that indeed we are fighting the corruption. The leadership and the government of a church is a government full of destruction. Ambassador, to talk about the amendment of the Constitution, in my own view, it is a total distraction so that people cannot speak on the issues that are concerning the country, such as the expensive fuel. We know that this agro fuel, I think it was the church was directed that is contracted with that company should come to an end. But 2 days later, the guy started putting fuel, and he's actually on the record that he won't stop supplying the fuel. There is 300 million which has gone missing of fuel. There is a gold scandal at the KK airport, and the Zambians wants to know who are the people involved in those things, instead of bringing a subject which we know that it cannot go anywhere, and this is amendment of our constitution. This is a total distraction, and I urge all political parties to look at it from a different angle. Let other people who can fight the amendment of our constitution continue to do that. But as politician, it's time to go ahead toe to toe. It's time to remind the Zambians that this government has got nothing good for Zambians. All what they want to do, they have come to enrich themselves for a short time, for a period of short time. We were told the issue was in Parliament that there is no Sujilite in Wapura. These are things that the government, as a people of Zambia, rather, that we need to discuss and hold this government accountable. Garry Nkombo is a dismissal, is a drama just like any other issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The gentleman from I think Copperbelt says there's an accusation that the minister is involved in CDF. The new minister of local government, will he declare that he has contracts? So Honorable Gift Sialubalo has some contracts in Chingola, according to the report I think that came over the weekend, under Zima Transport, a well-known company owned by himself, and I'm told his spouse in Chingola, and that Honorable Chipoka Mulenga, who's a member of parliament for the area and who's a minister of commerce, is aware. So will the minister declare that he's been having contracts under CDF, especially now that it is under him? This will be very important disclosure. I think that's what the caller was talking about. But the amendments that are coming, all the amendments that are being proposed do not touch on the Bill of Rights, which is part 3 of our Constitution. To amend even a comma in part 3 of our Constitution, you require to go for a referendum. So each government has been skirting around the issue of expanding issues of human rights and expanding the Charter of Human Rights that we have under Article Part 3 of our Constitution. That requires a referendum. At least President Edgar Lungu tried and brought it to a referendum. The UPND campaigned against it, and we missed a great opportunity to expand our Bill of Rights. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Oh, we missed that call. Good evening. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Please make your contributions We are beginning to wind up.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bana, hiyo konkanya nipo.
Thank you. I wanted to find out, sir, would you know how much this government has spent on the design and the printing of these new notes? I am asking because with the economic challenges that our country is going through, I don't see it as a priority that the government would be spending money to print new notes. Would you know how much our government committed into printing these new notes and design? And all this that is happening, the launching and everything, it's the first time where we are seeing that there's a new note and then people are seeing there's a choir, there's a launch. Very unnecessary, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The other unnecessary thing is what we are seeing. They are pushing the constitution.
Yes.
It's very unnecessary. Now, when you look at the pattern of what they are doing, of how they are doing things, is that they are just doing things that are not making any changes and affecting us as Zambians on the ground and changing the economy, reducing the high cost of living that is happening. They want to be doing something so that they look like they are doing something, but it's not happening. There's no change for Zambia. There is so much pain. There is so much pain on the ground, and unfortunately, the most painful thing is that anyone with a very good sense of judgment can see that the UPND government are no longer concentrating on developing this country and making positive changes towards the Zambia. They are working at cementing their stay in government at all cost, which is a big mistake, and it's going to land them into bigger to sink them in deeper waters. And I see bad things coming.
Okay.
Now I believe why. Now I see why ECL said I came back, because I am seeing this. I mean, it's now plain and clear. So that is my sincere question. And please, would we know how much we are going to spend on this constitution? How much we are going to spend? How much they spent on this money versus the problems that we are facing? I have no hatred against the president. But if I judge him by his own promises and he has failed.
Yeah.
People are trying to explain. No, we are doing this. They don't explain. There's a young man who asked the president in Malawi. He's a musician. He's a well-known musician. He just said, like Jesus answered when John the Baptist sent the disciples to ask. He just told them, go and tell him what you see happening around. All these singers, the media teams changing them upside down. They are explaining. They are good at explaining and making argument, but it has got no substance.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is a matter we have to find out. I'll do a thorough check, and I'll get back to you about how much this contract is. All I know that it was single sourced and it is in millions of dollars. The Bank of Zambia launched today a new family of banknotes, coins consisting of 6 banknotes, 500 kwacha, 200 kwacha, 100 kwacha, then 50 kwacha, 20 kwacha, and 10 kwacha. The new banknotes have some new security features, a hologram, and they're trying to justify, and that there is a fish ego on it, and some waterfalls. But Zambians wanted real, well, properly designed. That's why we should have had a good consultation on this matter, but we didn't. Who printed it? It was a single sourced. I'll get you the company and I'll write about it. Let's see if Bank of Zambia has released the details. I think they haven't disclosed the details of how much it will cost. I'm trying to check online as you are online as well. Okay, I'll get you the details, my dear brother. Okay, let's now get the last 2 phone calls and then we close. I'd said we'll do it 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I think we've done that. Let me take the last 2 phone calls and we will then close the program. Okay, if there are no phone calls, I want to then close the program. Okay, thank you for attending our program. There's a document we read here, our thoughts that we think should guide our country. And let me end with those thoughts. I didn't open with them and we'll end with them. The national anthem tells us that we should stand and sing of a Zambia that is proud and that is free. That we should have a country ruled by instilling fear is not a land of the free, is not a country that is safe, peaceful, or secure. We want a country that is admired and not feared. A country that our forefathers and foremothers dreamt of. A country that Garry Nkombo hoped for. A country that Kenneth David Kaunda prayed for. A country that Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe wished for. A country that Zambians fought for. A country that our faith leaders stand united in prayer for. A country that our people have rallied and fought for. A Zambia owned by its people. A Zambia owned by its people and under the guidance of God Almighty and Jesus Christ as our banner and as our guide. A country not yoked to tyranny or to those that think that they are kings or emperors. We are endowed with natural resources, natural wealth, wildlife still in natural and wildlife sanctuaries, magical waterfalls, a very friendly people, and an enviable heritage. We desire a country where it is possible to be prosperous. Even if you were born in the village, if you were born in a compound, you were born in a township or in the city, and that this is only possible if we craft an education system that gives knowledge, that empowers, and gives life and survival skills, and that we should have an economy that gives an opportunity to all, to the educated, to the less educated, the skilled and the less skilled, to the vulnerable. We should have an economy that responds and rewards entrepreneurship and innovation, an economy that is in the hands of Zambians. And that we need a country that rewards hard work, a country, if you work hard, it doesn't matter where you were born, where you are, that you should have no limit to where you're going. The opportunities should be various. That we should have our people live in decent housing, that our people should have decent job that can earn them a wage that is a living wage. God bless our country. God bless our people. And God save whoever is messing with our country. And with those few remarks, I think then we will end the program today. And I think we'll see you on Wednesday. God bless you.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.